A baggage man fell asleep in a cargo hold on an Alaska Airlines flight and woke up after they'd taken off. So here's the guy right here. He was just having a normal day at work. Lifting bags is hard. And shortly, he said, at some point in the process of loading baggage on a Los Angeles-bound Alaska Airlines flight out of Seattle, Junior, his name is, fell asleep. Quote, in the cargo, I was exhausted, so I dozed off. It looks like he was dozing off as he was saying that. Shortly after takeoff, he was awoken by a suitcase, wait for it, falling on his head. And that apparently may not prevent sexually transmitted diseases. So that's amazing. This guy was at work, decided to take a nap. That's something I do pretty much every day. But I don't work inside an airplane. And so he decided he was going to fall asleep in a cargo hold. I've been in a cargo hold, believe it or not.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
I was just,
tired?
In Seattle. Actually, in Seattle, I helped load an airplane just through, connections. Just wanted to see what it was like. And, it's amazing. It's just this little cubby that you just kind of do want to fall asleep in. Yeah. It's under but he actually did fall asleep in. Now, you have that instinct that you do want to fall asleep in there. But a normal person would say, but what if they close this? And he takes off. So what happened was this guy wakes up in the middle of after it hits him on the head. And the way he recounts the situation is it's super tragic. Like, he's like, at first I started by trying to call the ground control, and the ground control thought it was a prank, so they hung up on him. Then he calls 911, and all he's able to say is, I'm stuck in an airplane, and then it cuts out. So what does he do? He starts banging, because below your seat is, the cargo hold is the other part of that. He starts banging and scares the crap out of everyone on the plane. They alert the crew, then they go and they land, and he called his mom, because he's like, I just wanted to call and say goodbye. He texted his mom goodbye.
Yeah.
That's so terrifying.
You said any normal person wouldn't fall asleep, and clearly he's not, because he said that the only thing he learned from this is don't doze off in planes. Not to have a better work ethic, not to maybe get some rest at night before you go to work the next day. It's just don't doze off.
This guy's
on planes.
So he's like, next time he rides like in a seat on a plane, he's still not going to
be awake.
Off. That's like the logic at work in his brain.
I also take naps at work, but there is a very slim chance of this studio taking off. I did fall asleep one time at work when I was doing construction. Mm-hmm. And so when I was young, of course, you're young in early 20s, you're a partier. I was a partier. I used to drink gin all the time. This is before I smoked pot. Mm-hmm. And I used to drink gin and smoke cigarettes and stay out till 5 in the morning, because it was Chicago. You could stay out till 5 in the morning. The bars are open. And I would get up to do construction at 7.
Yeah.
Right? So
yeah, that is not a lot of time.
Yeah. So a lot of times I would just change my clothes and go to work drunk. And I was holding the ladder, right? So my dad was working on a chimney or something, and I had to hold the ladder so it didn't. And I fell asleep standing up.
Wow! Did you
standing
fall?
Up. So here's what happened. So I'm holding the ladder, and my arms fall through the ladder, and my head hits the rung, and I wake up. So I was still there. I didn't let go of the ladder. Technically, my feet were on it, and I went boom. Oh fuck! I fell asleep standing up. I didn't know that was possible. What am I, a horse? That was a horse.
I was reading online just to see if this happens more often, and apparently it does.
Really?
And I saw that, I'm just going to read something. It said that this is the way that gate crews maintain discipline. Because if they're tired of an employee that's being lazy, not doing what he needs to do, they wait for him to do whatever behavior and then close him in. Because for him to fall asleep, someone had to see him on the edge and close him in.
Yeah.
And they said that they do this all the time just to let people know, don't be lazy, don't handle people's bags bad, because, if you are lazy, then I have to do more work. And I was like, wow, how interesting.
They're
setting him up.
So if they did that in construction, they'd wait till the crane falls on someone's head.
Exactly.
And they'd be like,
screwed.
Shouldn't have had a crane fall on your head.